It's so weird, that countdown. Mr. Storm.
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Mr. Storm, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
As you say, good toy evening to you, my friend. How are you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great. I always love the Wednesdays, man. That means our week is really starting because it goes from Wednesday and of course the Friday, and we got some Saturday love this week too, man.
We do have some Saturday love. Hey, we want to thank you for stopping by. Welcome to Toy Box Chronicles. I'm your lovely, gorgeous host, Chet Maddox, along with my sexy host, Alexander Storm. You can't deny facts. Those are facts. So remember that. We have a pretty fun show today. We're going to be going over McFarlane Toys going digital. Do we think this is good or bad for the industry? You tell us. Hasbro and Playmates making agreements. I wonder what for. I didn't think that would happen. And then we have some stuff that we're going to talk about for our Whatnot show this coming Saturday that everybody in the world is going to watch. So stay tuned because Toy Box Chronicles is coming back. And we're back. Man, we got a lot we got to talk about. A lot of stuff happening, man. A lot of stuff in toys. I know some stuff we kind of teased a little bit of stuff, but as always, we always have more to talk about than we let people know up front. But hey, if you're new here, we want you to understand that subscriptions are free this month. So just subscribe and it's beneficial to you, not us. Yeah, Mr. Storm. So where do we get started? Where do you want to dig your toes into and open this box of toys and get into it?
Well, I know we were talking about the Marvel Legends pre-orders this week. Yeah. And a couple of key things. One, if you weren't the person that got up on Tuesday to do it, you made a mistake, because chances are it's going to be hard for you to find some of this stuff. But the big thing that we had to do, right? Gotta be Iron Fist and Luke Cage. Come on, man! My
friend, that is so good. It's so good. Yeah. I want to give me 1 second. Let me let me pull that out. But what made you love that?
First of all, look, they just from the time when I was reading comics, they were always two of my favorite cases. They're the two most unlikely duels that should be together, but they're ground level, And then once they did the Netflix series and we got to see them both together for a time, I was like, wow, it's just a great pairing. I love them with the whole Daredevil and Punisher, a lot of the street level guys. But I'll be honest with you, the Marvel Legends team, the fist bump, bro. I was like,
this right here. Yeah, this right here.
You got my money, man. You got my money.
Yeah. I mean, I remember we were talking about it, and I was like, dude, did you see Iron Fist and Luke? And I mean, dude, Luke Cage having the brass,
wow. Yep.
You got my money.
Does it? The two most unlikely duel, but work so perfectly together. And it's like, again, but it's just like whenever it comes to the people in toy photography, we've got to take an episode of the Toy Box Chronicles just for toy photography, because there's some ultra talented people doing this stuff for not just Hasbro, not just for the other companies, but just independently on their own. There's a lot of great people doing it, but this really sold the product to me, man. With just the photography itself, those figures, like if I can even pose them even half that good here, then it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
But that was the thing. But I remember you were saying something, and I remember you hit me up and you said, hey, you know what? I got a feeling you better do this. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know. But when you said you should pick up that Silver Surfer, you're going to regret it later.
You got it?
No, this is a face of regret, my friend.
Oh, well, since we're on the subject of Silver Surfer and being the face of regret, I would like to inform you that if you go to GameStop.com right now, you can pre-order this still.
There you go. That's what we're always giving the points.
Nobody buys shit from GameStop. And I'm just giving this out on this episode. No one's gonna fucking pay attention anyways. But dude, if they're sold out on Hasbro or Entertainment Earth through our link, you go to GameStop.com and you literally can pre-order it. And the reason why I know this, and I'm just saying it, is because I really wanted this one. I have no desire to buy extras to resell. I just love Silver Surfer. I have the previous one. But right before we jumped onto this cast, I jumped on and I just Googled this little title right here. Right?
Yeah.
And then it took me to GameStop. And I'll share this in a second, but anyways, long story short, GameStop.com.
Okay.
You can pre-order this. If you just search that, it's live on the site, so people know that I'm not lying. I'm gonna.
Well, here's the thing. Right now, take advantage of the advice that's hitting up, because there's somebody benefited from the hidden turtle punks at a Georgia Target. Somebody benefited from that. So right now,
someone definitely benefited from that because.
Oh yeah. So right now, you're getting some absolutely great advice.
Look at that.
You better take it.
The only freaking site that I can find that you can still pre-order this is GameStop.com. I will never mention this again on another podcast. It'll never be said again out of my mouth. I just want everyone to know that this is how I get stuff that you can't get. That's it. I feel like I should share it. I shared it. I'm never saying this shit again. But you could see right here that you can pre-order this. Right, you can even sign up for their yearly membership and even get it like basically $1 cheaper.
Well, the thing that also kind of gets you too is that whenever we think that there's a character that's obscure, that's not really that popular, these moments tell you just how ultra popular the Silver Surfer still is. Because even though they're, the rumors are they're supposed to be bringing the Silver Surfer, but it's not going to be that version of the Silver Surfer. It's going to be the female version of the Silver Surfer. But it lets you just know how starved people are. Marvel Legends, because a couple of years ago, Silver Surfer came with Galactus in the HasLab. He's had several figures, and they are always in high demand. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember which year I have, but I have one on me right now. I like it. It's a figure. So, but my thing with that is that I love Galactus. That's why I have him tattooed on my hand. So knowing that Silver Surfer is realistically the only person that could get rid of Galactus, you kind of gotta like that guy.
Well, again, it was just one of those things, those key points. Word of advice was like, wow, it's like I did not expect him, because again, I was like, it's a Silver Surfer. I was like, come on, the movie's not even being shot yet and everything. He was like, no, it's gonna go. And no doubt, I checked it a couple seconds later. I was like, he's absolutely right, it's gone.
Yeah, it went out so fast.
And I know we had some comments last week about we were talking about, are you collecting too many things? And I'll be honest with you, I had not really collected any Marvel Legends, and now there's a shelf being dedicated to Marvel Legends now. That's how it turns out for you.
I will tell you right now that is literally where I'm at.
Yeah. And you know what? After a while, you start regretting the decisions, and then some you don't. But the Marvel Legends has taken their game up this year. I'm looking forward. Those X-Men 97 figures look great. I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the year is going to do. We've seen the Logan and Deadpool figures that they were coming out with, the legacy ones and the others. So, wow. And you know, there's only more Wolverines coming this year. We all definitely know
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's with that said and everything else like that. Here's the thing. I know you were in the store this week, and Chris, our Pixel Plastic and Ink co-host, was like, you know what? What's going on with this digital thing, man? I think you guys need to talk about digital. And you know, I was when you were in the store right then, and you were like, well, I've just got these digitals. And now Mr. McFarlane calls them Figitals because there's like
Yeah.
some real and then they're actually not there. So what's your opinion on this whole wave? Do you think that I know his explanation was that there are some people that live in the world that can't afford to collect. So this is a way of them actually sharing in with everything. But to me, it more or less seems like another NFT kind of scenario. But what's your thoughts on that, Chet?
Well, so I bought them. I bought them to collect them. I had Aquaman, Green Lantern, and Batman, but I did just get Batman.
Mm-hmm.
I am, however, going to go back um, tomorrow and get the Green Lantern because apparently nobody goes to my Target.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably get that. And to be honest, I'll probably get Aquaman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of Aquaman. I just think that no one's done him justice. I think
True.
Jason Momoa's Aquaman is still really good, minus the new movie.
Mm-hmm.
But here's
Yeah, it's
all
just
right.
catch you on the fence on this one, doesn't
So
it?
yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to show the code, but this is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like a little digital
Mm-hmm.
McFarlane toy, and you go on and you redeem it, but you redeem it, and when you redeem it, they send you a Polygon wallet for basically collecting NFTs and crypto and digital currency.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't gone through the process yet. I was trying to do it before we went live on the podcast, but you know, it didn't get done. But I'll tell you, the figures are awesome. They're
Mm-hmm.
great figures. Um, I think there needs to be more to this than collecting. So let me share. Um, let me share my screen on this. So basically, you get the code, and then you connect your wallet, and then your
Mm-hmm.
wallet mints the your wallet then mints um the figure, and then that's where
Mm-hmm.
you get the traits. So that's when you mint it, it
Mm-hmm.
basically applies all these different traits. And so the idea is that you have a unique minted figure, right? And then if people want, you're in the zone to get to sell that figure. So
Mm-hmm.
here's a so this is
Okay.
the marketplace for collecting.
Mm-hmm.
Is obviously redefine the future of collecting. Um, and then this is like what it is. If you don't want to buy the figure, shop secondary means you can basically go in and items. So here it says there's two, like we'll choose Lobo for instance, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So in here it says items. This means how many of them have been minted, and then you have
Mm-hmm.
floor, which is pretty much the base cost. You have 143 owners, and altogether is 1.7 thousand.
Okay.
So if you go on here, you can see like no bids, no bids.
Mm-hmm.
This one has green hair, so
Okay.
that's a red one, right? So that's like that's a little rare. Then you have like purple hair. So you look for all the ones, and then you'll find one that has one that you like. But you could go in here to appearance. You could do first appearance, and it'll change that. And then you can go like asset IDs. You can do rarity. So we could do legendary.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all the legendary ones you could purchase, and then
Okay.
legendary is typically just like a hair variant. Is really realistically what it looks like
Mm-hmm.
he's doing. So the idea here is that you have a figure that is connected to then a crypto wallet. So I'm excited to see where that goes. you know this from the past, but I was heavily into NFTs and built my own NFT. And we talked about having some version of NFT for the Shadow Nose network, and so um, I'm excited to see where it goes. Now, if the figures aren't good, I won't buy them. But going to be honest. A quick unbox here. I unboxed it, and so here it is.
There you go. Okay. It looks like the standard stuff. It looks like it comes with a little bit extra accessories compared to some of the other stuff I've seen them do.
Yeah, and I mean, like the cape. This isn't soft goods. This is like a rubber.
Oh, it is a hard. Yeah, same thing
Yeah.
like the Owlman one I got.
But I mean, for the most part, right? Like it's not bad. It's
What was the
good.
what was the price points on those?
24.99, I think.
So it's the same like a standard figure,
Yeah.
but this one, and you know what? I'm not saying he's not trying to do something like I remember in the early days when we had physical media and you had bought a DVD and they were trying to tell everybody
To
to
get the
like
digital with
and
ultraviolet and all
they
that.
would give you the code and you go online, and I've got a lot of movies back in the day that I bought something physical to it and then went into digital, and now we're totally moving out of physical and I have the digital. I don't know if that's going to work in the toy market as well, because I know people like having large displays like we do.
I think where the benefit comes into this, and this is something that I think is pretty smart. Where what the benefit comes into this is that if you buy my toy, I can sell you my digital asset. Now you can have the pair because I minted it when I bought this toy. So it's like a combo. So I could resell this toy in like premium condition and double it if I'm gonna give you the NFT, because then I could just transfer that over. So the whole idea behind minting and all that stuff for art has always been, how do you tell who has the most? And then the most important piece on minting and NFTs and all that stuff is that if you generate something or you mint something, and then let's say you want to sell it or you created it, what actually happens is you can set a percentage. So every time it's minted, meaning someone pays for it, you get a percentage. So that's where it becomes beneficial. Do I think this is gonna last long? Probably not.
So do you see like Hasbro or anybody else kind of jumping in on the trend, or you think this is just something they're trying to see if McFarlane can make a profit from it,
I think
and they're kind of good if they don't jump into it, right?
Yeah, so like with DC, like this Batman is Rebirth, and then they have another I forget what the Nightfall Batman, and then but like Aquaman is like an obscure run.
Yeah.
Green Lantern's not bad. It's pretty cool. It's Hal Jordan. But I don't know. I just don't know what the utility of this would be. Meaning, what is the benefit of me having it? So like the other thing with McFarlane Toys is if you were part of this before, or if you're part of this before December 31st of 2023, you were minted a coin that gives you extra benefits.
Okay.
Like that's the utility, right? I log in, connect my wallet, they see I have a coin that maybe I get a discount, whatever that looks like. Do I see Hasbro using this in any way, shape, or form? I mean, look, here's a freebie. If you utilize this for your toys and whatever toy line you have or whatever, like let's say McFarlane utilizes the what he's doing right now with DC and Spawn, because this is like DC and Spawn right now. Now McFarlane comes out with a video game and he's like, hey, whatever your digital assets are can be brought into the video game. That's crazy. That's where it's like, oh, okay, cool. Like if you want my version of Superman in the game, you got to buy you got to buy the product from me, right? So I think there's a massive market here for utility and a different way to think about this, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Hasbro wants to, because I mean it's time and money invested. Plus you have like gas fees, which is like for minting, and then you have the program, like all the stuff that comes along the lines with NFTs. And then you're introducing complexity because now you have to authenticate codes per device. It's so. I think I think it's a lot of effort. I wouldn't expect less from McFarlane, though, to be completely frank. Whenever he's lacking on something else is coming out, and that's we've seen that, right? Like we talk about page punchers.
Yep.
And then here we are with the Figital.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
You know what? It's not my cup of tea, but I do know there's some people that like the whole, they were into NFTs in the days, and I think it's another market. I think it's best to explore everything you can. Do I think it's going to ruin the physical toy community? No, I don't think it's going to do that.
Okay,
I think it's a one-off that McFarlane's doing, and McFarlane's going to stay in the outskirts of everything else. But I don't see that. I don't think there's going to be a rush stage. And it was like there was a moment when NFTs were huge and everybody was jumping on them, and then there's a stage where people kind of like been there, done that. So, the one aspect that I'll say is that the Spawn one, the Spawn with Angels, that was the most disappointing to me because that's just purely a statue. That's not.
He did that with a few of them too. Like it's like, come on, man.
That's just purely a statue. He's like, come on. And to me, it looked like I remember the early days when some of his stuff were statues. So, it's like, I think it's smart to try something new. And, if it's not costing him a lot, he does have a little bit more money doing the DC stuff. He can afford to play around with some stuff. But what I would like to see him play around with is maybe start getting into some dioramas or something else. Do something else other than figures. You're going to spend R&D, come up with something else.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you right now. One of the things that I really, really wanted from McFarlane, and I'm hoping he does it, is I just want to see McFarlane bust out a playset. Right? Like some kind of playset. Just bust it out. Like, come on, just give us something.
That's what I would spend my R&D money on. Give us something that we haven't seen, that we don't expect from you. And again, we'll see how well this is. Again, some of the characters, I've seen some of the multi-characters that he's done. He's added some new paints to it. But we'll see where it goes. Again, I was like somebody else trying things. The one thing I will say about this that's completely different is I think that McFarlane has a way of always being an outsider, and I think that's worked well for him. So, it's like he's on the outskirts of this right now. Do what you got to do to keep yourself into your own lane and just keep worrying about what you're doing,
and then see what sticks.
Yeah.
So when you think about like, I guess kind of like moving on, like something that's kind of unexpected was like Hasbro teaming up with Playmates.
This was.
I don't remember hearing any talks about this.
Nothing. And it just came out the blue. And this is and I was, as we were doing our rundown and everything, this was the topic I knew was going to be the thing. One is they spent all that money purchasing the Power Rangers from Saban.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now they're like, well, it's not profitable. When did it not become profitable? Because it's been around for, let's say, 30 some odd years at this point. Everyone, I got nephews that grew up that were majorly in the line. It's like it comes back to the malfunction of Hasbro. This is not the Power Ranger community. This is your malfunction that you can't actually get products and excite people into this thing that actually has a worldwide fan base. There's some of the Marvel products are US, some of them are certain other regions of the world, but the Power Rangers is worldwide. And so to see that you're giving them off to Playmates, and I'm like, well, this seems like the Super 7 scenario. Look, we're losing money on this, so let's these guys just take a jump at it. And if it ends up ruining Playmates, hey, that works for us because we got another competitor gone. Because Super 7, with their O-rings of the G.I. Joe line, they're going to be gone at one point or another because they're not making smart decisions on how they're doing things.
That's it. So you do believe that?
Oh, I think it's by purpose. Oh, I think Super 7 is going to run into some problems. I think their product is higher than almost everyone else. Their product is higher than the mega corporations, other than NECA. But NECA is at least producing stuff where you're saying, like, you see 50-point, 60-point price lines. It looks like that. Super 7's work doesn't look like that. You know, Super 7 looks like, especially the reaction figures, the amount of money that they're asking people to pay for reactions, those reaction figures are almost like page punchers. You know, it's like they're asking way too much money for little detail and little articulation. You know,
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense. But I think Hasbro's done this on purpose. I think they're like, look, we're not, because what common sense does it make? You know, they gave the page punchers to McFarlane. We're not going to do it. Shit, this seems like we're going to waste money. You know, they gave the O-rings to Super 7. Well, we're losing money on O-rings. Might as well let these guys do it.
Yeah,
And it seems like the same thing's going for Playmates, bro.
like the GI Joe reaction vehicle is $495.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like no one's like the Super 7's kind of lost it. But Playmates, if they think that Playmates is going to come around and they're going to, you know, revolutionize the Power Rangers, like if you own the property and you're not putting that time and effort into it, and somehow you must be losing money. But look, they were pumping out the Transformer fan streams. They were pumping out the G.I. Joe fan streams. They've done all these other characters and all these other streams they've been doing. And it was very minimum the work that they put into Power Rangers. What did you expect? You know, you give a little effort, you're not going to get something out of that. And it's a huge community. It's a very large community.
It's massive. I think every time you talk about Power Rangers, like you can find like 4 out of 5 people are going to want to talk to you about Power Rangers.
And again, credit, simple design, simple concept, works well. You can almost in any language understand it. It's extremely smart. But Hasbro's like, oh, we're paying all this money to attain it, and so we can't make money off it. Well, I didn't see the effort. Now, Saban, when they were doing it, Saban threw up Power Ranger toys and all kind of things, Megazoids, everything was all over the place.
Yeah,
that's not. I didn't see that same effort from Hasbro. But they're like, okay, well, let's let Playmates do it. And then what happens? Let's say Playmates is successful with this. You know, what did he do? Take the license back after a couple of years, and then they're like, "Oh, we thank God we had Playmates spend money on the R&D, and we're going to benefit from that." Some of these smaller companies need to understand the deceptive practices of mega corporations. They're not here to make sure that you make money. The same way they let Ace do mass figures, they were like, "Look, we don't think we can make money from it, but if Ramen can make money from it, then and the minute that they do, these small companies start making money, they'll swoop in, and it doesn't make any sense, man. No one gives you, you know, a product that's worth anything and says, hey, you do something with it. They just want to make sure what, you know, these smaller companies are doing. And Playmate, you know, bit the hook. Playmate bit the hook, you know.
yeah.
So we'll see if this is going to work for them. I'm like, you know, I know that Hasbro's the only company that seems like they're going to benefit extremely well, because they, whether Playmates makes any kind of money, there's a licensing fee on it. Something's coming back to Hasbro, regardless or not. So it's a win-win for Hasbro.
Yeah, I mean, if you can not use your money to like to find out if something's going to be good or not, I mean, F it, dude. More power to you.
Yeah,
I
and
just
you know, the thing one last thing on this is that it tells how much they respect the stuff, because they're not putting the time and effort into development themselves. So
yeah.
how much does really Hasbro respect that, or the O-Ring G.I. Joe line? They have very little respect for it.
Well, do you think that this makes it look like Super 7's taking over from Hasbro on the 3-inch line?
Well, they
G.I. Joe?
are. They are, because Hasbro was like, we don't see a profitability point from this. So let's let these guys do it. And I don't think there's going to be a profitability from the Super 7 standpoint.
I gotta tell you, like, I like these like 6-inch figures and the big ones,
Mm-hmm.
but like after getting my collection back from Mask, and like I bought a carded GI Joe figure, Destro,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and it's a 3.5 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's just my preference. Like I think like it just, I don't know, I feel like I could do so much more on a shelf.
Well, it all does come down to space community. I don't know. You know, there was a point when I was younger. I've got a lot of the old Kenners. I've got some original Joe characters from when I was a kid. But the 6-inch line is like, you know, for me, it's display factor, the detailing and everything. That's the thing that I appreciate about
Is that what gets you into the 6-inch one?
the bigger lines. It's just the details, and when they look great sitting on the shelf and everything, compared to it's kind of hard for your 3 3/4 inch characters and everything else. And the mask is different because of the vehicles. I think anything with vehicles that did extremely well, like GI Joe. I display the old vehicles more than I would the action figures. So
Yeah.
but it's to each his own. Everybody has their own separate points of preference on it. But it's very interesting, man. That's why I said it's going to be a very interesting summer with the way they're setting things up because, at one point or another, Super 7 is going to have to start putting those O-wings, and they did that massive snake ship that everybody rejected immediately. So
which one?
that one, the Super 7 tried to do a crowdfund for the, it appears in the opening, I think of like the season 2 opening. It's a giant Cobra snake ship that didn't go through. And people were looking like, are you kidding me? And I thought that was, if that's decision making you're putting in, profitability is going to go out the window for some stuff.
Hold on, I want people to see this. I know what you're talking about. Stop.
That was the summer that and those Jurassic Park gates didn't work.
No, the Jurassic Park gates were like, that was just a. All right, so here we are on Super 7 X O-ring, designed to look and feel like the vintage toy line from early 80s. 3.3 1/4. Inspired by the vintage like this. I mean, I do like how they laid this out on like this is what it is. I think it's good. What people also don't understand is like, hey, if you need to learn how to fix them, they just showed you.
Yeah, right.
But here's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that massive ship, man. Yeah, the thing no one asked for, but you were going to produce.
The Cobra mothership.
Again, it never appeared on the show. It premiered on the opening sequence of the show.
Do you know why no one funded this?
Was big as hell. Yeah.
No, because they didn't fucking make it.
Yeah.
Like they did. It's all digital renderings. No. Like pay attention. All the ones that like HasLab that are successful. Okay. HasLabs that are successful actually have the product in hand. Now, it doesn't mean that it's the final one. It doesn't mean anything, but it shows that you believe in the product so much that you made a sample one so that people could see it. Because, like, look at this picture, right?
Wait a minute. I think they did make an actual rendered version for San Diego Comic-Con last year. So there was now it was a one-off, but they did actually have it displayed last year at San Diego Comic-Con. But it's just that when you see the size of this thing, it's the same as the size of a damn drafting table.
They did have it at Comic-Con?
They did have it. They had an actual one-off at Comic-Con. They also had those Jurassic Park gates at Comic-Con too last year.
Did they really?
They did.
The ones that no one bought.
Yeah, one that no one bought. But
hey, do you like trains and playing with trains? You could buy these Jurassic Park gates and set them up on your little H-track.
Yeah, it's extremely interesting, some of the ideas. That's why I said again, I don't think look, Hasbro wouldn't have made that. I don't give a damn how much money. There's people willing to throw thousands of dollars for them to do a USS Flag. And Hasbro's like, we logistically wise, it would murder us to make this toy that size. Doesn't make any sense. For them, they're like, we're going to make this bigger and badder for a small select. That doesn't look like it's going to shape the bottom line of your corporation well, doing one-offs like that. So, it always just rolls down to, yeah, that's what I said again. I remember San Diego Comic-Con. I was like, you got to be kidding me, man. It's
even okay. So I stand corrected. That's fine, whatever. But even with this there and a sign that says pre-order, they couldn't sell it at San Diego Comic-Con.
No.
San Diego Nerd Gathering. Like you couldn't sell Cobra Ship.
Nope.
Whatever. You got problems.
Yeah, they got this is more. It's just not the toys. It's just not the toys.
Not good. Well, now that we know that Hasbro's deliberately trying to push off their bad toy lines,
yep.
What else are you excited about?
Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday. That's exactly.
Saturdora.
Yeah.
What's happening on Saturday?
Well, let's put it like this. I'm gonna have to go with a wise man who's told me that we're gonna revolutionize things of how whatnot's done. Now, that's a tall order, but I believe that the demand can be made. But no, it's the pixel plastic and ink whatnot pop-up that's what we're supposed to be doing. And there's two versions of it. There's a toy store, which obviously you can see behind Mr. Maddox. There's a toy store. If you've seen the pixel plastic and ink, you can see Chris's toy storing out. For myself and Dr. Brentley, there's a little point that we call the retrospect vaults. That's a virtual comic book store. And actually, this is the difference between this virtual comic store. We're actually taking things out of our collection that we are no longer enjoying. It was in storage, it was sitting around, and we really had to just ask ourselves, like, it's like, well, if we're not enjoying this and keeping it out, what are we doing this for? So we decided to take personal pieces from our collection. There's going to be an actual video too. There'll be a retrospect vault video that'll be produced for the items that we'll be selling on Saturday from myself and Dr. Brantley. And toys, we got to push the extra mile for comics. You guys don't have to push the extra mile for toys.
Yeah, well, but here's the thing: is like, it's important to know that the comics are coming from people that have thousands of comics.
Yes.
So let's not if you join the whatnot and you have a comic you're looking for, you could probably also, if you're nice, you could probably ask for it, and they might be like, "Oh, I have that. Come back next week." But there's also I wanted to show this so everyone knows what they're gonna see.
Okay.
This is like our waiting screen. So when you guys come in and you're trying to figure out what's going on, so yeah. So I mean, I'm telling everybody we're trying to explain it. Here's some insight and whatnot. We have high production value. However, whatnot doesn't support it. So we're doing the best we can to push out the production value with what we have to work with between whatnot and what we need to actually get that production value to whatnot. So stay close with us, but you don't want to miss the show. We have a lot of stuff that we're going to be going through as we're making this a podcast with sales. So we're really going to be talking through like different years and different things, and we have Star Wars coming up, and so we're taking a gamble here, having the show like close to Star Wars, so I think what's exciting about this is that, hey, this is just the first one. We're going to look for feedback, and the goal here is to push whatnot to open up things to make our production value higher. But you'll be able to see what we've got it figured out. You're going to see what you're bidding on. It's going to be front and center, but you're also going to see our faces and the videos and the interactivity. We might bring a guest on, which will show up. We have moderators already set up for this. So it's going to be fun, man. I'm excited about it.
Like I said, and let's just say, hey, what's going on, Meeks?
Mr. Meeks, what is happening, brother?
Thanks for popping in. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I really think that the I remember when you pitched it to us about the whatnot, because the whole whatnot idea is the brainchild of Mr. Maddox. Believe me, we don't have to. Dr. Brentley, myself, and everything. It was we're thinking about this, but it's like, look, he made us take a deep dive into it, and I refer to it. It's more like it's eBay, but if eBay was entertaining.
Yep.
That's what I believe that whatnot was, and I was extremely attracted to it. We've all been really addicted to it lately. And the piece of advice I'll tell people, if you get into it, give yourself a day or two before you put your credit card in.
You have to, because I didn't.
I did not.
And I wish I would have, because I'm pushing like 10K on this shit.
Yeah, it starts getting you, man. You start getting in it, but there's the one thing that we noticed that was too is that the best sellers on there are entertaining, and they have a great rapport with the audience, and that was the one aspect that really drew us to it. Is like, well,
Yeah.
can we do that and take what we do on Friday nights and do a different version on Saturday? And it's also this Saturday, April 27th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mr. Maddox, since we don't have Chris on or Dr. Brentley and everything, so we'll just show the same. What's some of the items that you're putting up, Mr. Maddox?
Well, so
if we can tease them right quick.
If we could tease them, sure. I do have the well, let me grab them real quick. I'll show you a few items that are going to go up for sale that I go through whatnot and I pay attention. And these are items that people do not have. And they ask for them.
Uh-oh. Meeks is he's anticipating it.
All right, so here's two of them.
Okay.
Number one, this is one of my favorite ones, so it's going to be very hard to let go, but I figured it would be good for somebody. But this is my my Toy Biz, and this is, what year was this? I think this is 90. Yeah, this is 91. Okay. And this is Toy Biz, and it's on card, and it still has a Toys R Us sticker.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's Wolverine, and what's important about this is its first appearance Wolverine. Now the card is a little bit bent, but it is the first appearance. It's uncanny. That one is hard to get, but somehow magically we got it. Now this is a modern release, but this is one that's hard to get because of the the release and people want it. But I also gonna be doing Scarlet Spider.
Oh wow! Okay, yeah, that's it's still highly in demand too.
Yeah, and you may say, well, Chet, what if more people want one than one? Well, here's a newsflash: I have more than one. And then we'll get into probably some retro and Chris and I are trying to talk through that, but I have I have a bunch of bagged, so a lot of like back here you can see a lot of like open stuff for people to kind of look at. And then I have a bunch of carded Ninja Turtles, so Ninja Turtles on card. We have some Build-A-Figures for sale.
All right.
I have a lot of Ninja Turtles. I got a lot of turtle stuff. What else can I show you? I have an entire Street Shark collection that I'm willing to let go. Original. And one of the most sought after Street Sharks, by the way, which is this. So now a lot of people have this, but they don't have the drill.
Yeah, drill works.
So I have the drill. I have two of those, one with drill, one without. But one of the harder Street Sharks to find.
Well, technically, isn't a whale?
Yeah, but he's got the tongue as like minimal problems. But what you don't find it with is this.
Oh my goodness!
So, and that's a little knob that just turns the tongue.
Oh, you got to be kidding me! Meeks is in love with it, man.
Well, if you're watching the podcast and you decide that you want to buy it ahead of time, I mean, hey, we could figure it out. But yeah, man, I'm excited. Look, I'm selling a lot of my personal collection. I've decided that I'm really narrowing it down. For those of you that have been following the channel, I did end up getting my entire collection of Mask back, with the exception of I think Gator from Series 1 and Boulder Hill.
Mm-hmm.
But my Boulder Hill fell through. The lady gave me the price, and then I sent her the money, and she ghosted me, and I got my money back because I only use credit cards.
Yeah. Which is a very good point. You always run a credit card.
Yeah, never use a debit card because you never get the money back. Credit cards, I'm just using someone else's money. But yeah, so dude, I'm excited, and Chris has a lot.
Wow,
Chris has got some Mafex figures he's gonna be putting up for sale.
Oh wow. All right.
He's got a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He has some badass Mezco. He has a Mezco Doom figure that's unreal. Wow. He's got Dark Side that's Mezco unreal. Yeah. Like so we are coming at this as like, hey, we want you to know we're serious. This is going to become an official off branch of Pixel Plastic Inc. We're gonna be doing this. It is our storefront. Mr. Storm and Dr. Brentley are going to be running the comic side of the business. Chris and myself are going to be running the toy side of the business, and obviously we intermingle, so it's not like we're not going to do whatever, because Mr. Storm also has a 14 truckloads of toys that he doesn't necessarily either look at or want, or
and also there's a couple, we're going to have some buy it now options, obviously. So when there'll be stuff up in the store that when we're not online. One of the key things I want to share this too, because we're always thinking about innovative ways that works in fandom, and I've got it on right now. This is a handmade GI Joe. You'll notice the dog tags. Let me see if I can get that back for everybody. Let me push this down a little, but it's got the dog tags. It has let me put this up towards the camera. You'll notice that it has a brass GI Joe. This is handmade. We actually went out, had a jewelry designer actually make this stuff, and wildly talented. It's from a company called Mayfield Designs. Extremely talented jewelry maker. We wanted to have some things that we knew the fandom would want. I'm going to be we'll have several of these on. I think they're also working on some Transformers and some TMNT ones, because we know that fandom is just a little different. So we're just trying to change some points in the fandom. But and again, this is all handmade. So the detailed work that we're doing, the same thing that we're doing on toys thing, these are stuff that's either coming out of our collection or we've commissioned to have done. This is not something that we went through Ross, took an item and just like, I'm going to try to triple my money. It's like, these are things that we're not enjoying this stuff. They're sitting in storage or someplace. And again, there's a certain point of, well, maybe my passion, because I know Dr. Brentley and I are going to do a lot of Batman books. There's going to be a lot of the DC Batman books, a lot of popular stuff.
I'm excited for some of the ones you guys are selling, to be honest.
Yeah. Because it's like, if you're not enjoying it, what are you doing? It give it to somebody, allow it to go out of your collection to somebody that's going to enjoy it. That was the beautiful point. And that's the beauty that you've done, Mr. Maddox, is that you really were like, nah, man, what are we doing with some of this stuff? You really kind of pushed that to the forefront. So, and I've had a great time going back and looking over this stuff. And it's like, you're at peace when it's like, somebody is going to actually enjoy this. That's the exciting part of it now, man.
Yeah. And I think that holds true way more with comics. Like, here's my thing on comics is like, if you're trying to collect comics to have the big payoff, like you should have been collecting back when Action Comics #1 came out, because it's not going to happen again. There's not going to be an era that is going to produce the same amount of money worth in comics. There are some that you can buy.
Yes,
Meeks, I'm happy you agree, because it's like, there are some comics you could buy right now that will garner you some money if you're one of those people.
Sure.
Like I bought Scott Snyder's run of Batman, the New 52. I have issue 1 of Scott Snyder. I bought it because I thought it was fantastic, and then I find out it's like $150. Does that mean I'm going to sell it? Probably not. $150 realistically, at the end of the day, what is that when I could just have it? So comics, I think, is where it's become super important. And look, if you have comics and you've held on to them and they're not signed or they're not, graded, like, why are you holding on to them? Like, what is the purpose? Because everyone knows that you buy comics like weekly, right? Or whenever they're coming out. But at the end of the day, you'd like to have all those in one thing. So ultimately what happens is you buy issue 1 through 5 or 1 through 7, and then they come out with the trade, and then you buy the trade, and then you get rid of the 1 through 7.
Exactly.
And I like Scotty Young. I have all of his Middle West number 1 covers, including rares. I just won't get rid of those. I'll send them into grade. But outside of that,
yeah, and that's the same thing. We've had some stuff in our collections that just was gathering, and yeah, like there's a lot of the new 52. Dr. Brent and I both have rough runs of those, and we're both like, it's just time to let it go out there, because I know they are harder to find the individual issues, but there is a level where you've gotten to. It's like there's certain things I want to keep in my collection that when I was 14, 15 in a comic book store, caught the magic and everything is there. And then there's things that I just read and I enjoyed, but they're taking up storage. So someone else is probably looking for the same items that wants to enjoy it. Let's pass it on. And you're right. A lot of times we have these issues and we have trade paperbacks to go coincide with it. It's not the experience of saving something. If you're doing it just to point of value, you're doing it wrong, because you're going to play a long game, and the long game is probably going to be way many years after you're gone before they'll be valuable.
yeah, so, I think, yeah, and I think there's certain things that are cool about that. Like, that I have a Brother Voodoo legend, but I also have the graded version of his first appearance that is above that. So like you got to figure out how you're going to collect and why, and then go from there. But I truly believe I've held on to a lot of stuff in my collection. I do need to get rid of it. There's some stuff I have, like Mad Balls, like some series 2 still in packages that I want to maybe part with. I if you can see on the shelf behind me, like right here. That's a series 1 Mad Ball. Happy probably let that go. But yeah, I mean, look, it's not gonna be boring. So show up.
Oh yeah.
Bring your wallets. Purchase some crap, and then come back to the other podcasts. So we're thinking that we're gonna try to keep this on, if not every Saturday, every other Saturday, or maybe once a month, or we're trying to figure out what works best. Yeah. Also, too, there is, we will talk about how we might do a pop-up really quick, one of us single, like on our own side. But ideally, everything, you'll be able to come to Pixel Plastic Inc. and see our store and our buy it nows and our auctions and pre-bid on them for the shows. Become a guest, pop up, do whatever you want to do. So I'm excited about it, man.
And then the other thing we're excited about, of course, actually, we know that the following Saturday, not this Saturday, following Saturday is May the 4th, and this one, our Star Wars initiative for next week, that was championed by Chris. Technically,
yes, it was.
I got to give it. So you will see all next week leading up to May the 4th to the pop up. If we're doing it on the May the 4th, we don't know yet, but I do know Toy Box Chronicles will be a Star Wars themed one. Yeah, I see. Meeks is true. Yes, Meeks, absolutely. But it's going to be the Toy Box Chronicles will be an all Star Wars Toy Box Chronicle one. The Pistol Plastic Inc. on Friday will be an all one. There will also be, we've been experimenting on the network with smaller special presentations of like we did Deadpool this week, and we also did a Rebel Moon. We're going to do some Star Wars special presentations that's going to pop up through the week, and if we do a pop up for Whatnot, it will probably be a majorly Star Wars themed version of one too. So that's kind of cool too, and I thought that idea was just a fantastic idea that he came up with, and it makes sense to just, we're going to do more branding stuff like that when these things start popping up throughout the year.
All in preparation for our award show at the end of the year.
Yeah, and we already have a contender, because if you saw Rebel Moon and everything,
it's a waste of time.
Box office graveyard recipient right now. So
and we are working on, by the way, getting them to hand out, and then we're going to mail them even though people don't ask for them.
Yeah, they won't. It'll be
If
the
you
words
haven't
that you
seen,
don't
yeah,
want to see pop up.
if you haven't seen it, you should go back to the Shadow Nose Network and watch the box office graveyards, because I'm going to tell you right now, we nailed most of the stuff before everyone else talked about it.
We did.
And I was like, dude, everyone knows. If you know, you know. That's it.
You got it, brother.
What else we got? We got retrospect episodes coming.
Yeah, we got an Indiana Jones one that's a two-parter that's going to be hitting the channel extremely soon. I know a Retro Rewind Club. I know you guys are still waiting on your items, right?
Yeah. So update on that. Thank you for that. Update on Retro Rewind Club. I got my box. Chris got his box. I'm sending one more box to him, but we are actually going to be doing we're going to be doing two. We're gonna be doing two. We're gonna film 2 episodes and post them up back to back. I'm excited for them. They're fantastic.
You saw what Meek says. And you said shirt on Mr. Maddox, right?
So we'll do all right. So Pixel Plastic Inc. is gonna do a limited drop. You can go to pixelplasticinc.com and we will do a limited drop of, if you know, Chet Maddox. And that'll be a Toy Box Chronicle drop. And I will have that up tomorrow.
There you go. That makes sense, brother.
So you can buy that, Meeks. You just go right in there and put your little cardy poo in there, and you could have the shirt. If you know, you know.
There you go.
But yeah, you know what? Maybe that'll just be my tagline now.
Yeah. It works. If you can do it, you can do it, man. So other than that, also too, the pixelplasticinc.com. Like, there's an awesome Toy Box Chronicle hoodie that's up there that I know that I've still got to wait for mine to come out. But we've also got some Pixel Plastic Inc. t-shirts and some hoodies as well. We have a lot of people hit us up and been like, oh, wow, man, where do you guys get that? You go right there, you can purchase it. And it's been tested, proven, fantastic that it works. Actually, it's it's one of those aspects where you look at it, there you go, Mr. Maddox. Just you work that out. That makes sense.
Yep. Yeah, and look, we're always looking. We're keeping it simple. There's not going to ever be a lot on there. It's just our logo. We have like one other one, but I will be remiss if I don't bring this up. But I still always want to give a huge shout out to the Junk Cartel.
Yes.
They've been a very big supporter in us going live with the show. They're also going to be mods for the show.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So yeah, we have them as mods for the show, and we're almost done with the collaboration piece we're going to do as a shirt and hoodie with them. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I think it's great. Yeah, man, we got a lot. Also, if you enjoy just regular old talking heads, I will be back to updating my own YouTube channel, Chet Maddox, over there on that channel for just things that don't necessarily have anything to do with Shadow Nose Network, but you'll see maybe sometimes I'll cross promote them. I know people are watching on the channel now. I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, as well as Shadow Nose Network. I spend a lot of my time over here. More often than not, I spend time on Pixel Plastic Inc., Toy Box Chronicles, Retro Rewind. We have even more shit that's coming out. If you're into wrestling, we have that popping up. Look, man, we're basically dominating, and if you're here early, you get it, you understand it. We appreciate you, and we just want to remind everybody that you could subscribe and to comment, because if you comment, it just helps push things through, and it's yeah, and and I might be bringing back the streaming part of Chet, because I talked to Steve the other day, and I think I'm going to hire him to be my audio engineer, but I hate that guy. So is there, you got anything else? Any Meeks, anybody watching? You got anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, last one down. Somebody, any last one downs?
You got 1 minute. Any number one? Hey, Meeks. Okay, we're gonna play this one more time because we do have Meeks in here. We have some more people that showed up, but we're gonna give you a quick look at what you're gonna see when you show up to the whatnot. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know. I think it's cool, but this is kind of just like just a little preview. And if you've ever seen a Chet Maddox live stream, you know where this goes. Anyways, you'll see it more. There's a lot more to it. But yeah, man, I am stoked, Mr. Storm.
Yes, sir.
We've got a lot happening, man, and
busy week.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it without you, my friend.
Yes, most definitely, brother. It's nice to have everybody in, and I love when all the hard work's paying off, and we just hope everyone's going to be entertained with it as well, because that's the main point. We just want to entertain people.
And remember, everything has a price, and if you know, you know. With that being said, sir, it has been a fantastical night with you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait
on Friday, brother, and then Saturday, and then
you will see me Friday. And, who knows, man? At this rate, F the big leagues. The small guys are running. Hey, real quick though, a huge shout out to everyone that has supported us from the beginning, because it's important to remember that every YouTube channel starts at 0, and I'm excited to announce this on Toy Box Chronicles. But we, the Shadow Nose Network, is officially part of the 200 Club and climbing, by the way.
Yes,
and
sir.
So I appreciate everybody that has been there from the beginning, helped us get to the 200. We're only going to get better. It's only going to become more and more intense. So, hang out, stick around. Hold on. Meeks has Transformers 1. He wants to know our thoughts on Transformers 1, and Meeks is here all the time. We owe it to him. Let's talk about it for a few minutes.
All right, man. That trailer is fantastic, Meeks. Like I said, I know you've seen it because you're asking about it.
Yeah.
I was totally shocked. We did talk about this on Pixel Plastic, but you get a 5-minute special from us.
Oh yeah. Meeks he gets a 5-minute discussion like he wants. Yeah, let's do this.
So, look, first of all, it's nice to see the origin story of like Optimus Prime, which is Orion Pax, and then the Megatron, and then I thought the humor, the animation was fantastic. It's a completely different. Chris Helmsworth's voice is just great, and I thought without having Peter Cullen in it that it was going to be that, but it really was in every possible way. That they really surprised me. I did not think that they were gonna. We've seen the other Transformer movies, the other things. There's one in '86 they made, and that one was kind of a little bit of disappointment because he did kill off a lot of main characters. This one seems like you're getting to see that origin story of them starting, and then we understand why Orion Pax and Megatron had problems. I don't know if we're going to see the pits of chaos, but
I feel like we will see pits of chaos. I'm one of the few. I'm a little bit on the edge about the animation style, but it's not enough for me to say I don't like it because I haven't seen it. I will tell you, I was at the point where I was like, well, what else could they do for like a Transformers thing? And I'm excited that they hit this part, because if you really think about Transformers all the way back to like 85 or whatever the date was, I think it was 85, right? Is it 84?
84.
Anyway, 84. Is 84, yeah. If you think all the way back to there, we've only seen glimpses of the origins. We've only ever known that the Energon is what it is, and Unicron this and whatever, but it was never like, how did Optimus become a Prime? Why is Megatron so upset? Sure. And so I have watched that trailer like over 5 times, and that trailer is like 3 minutes.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
It's not a quick trailer, but I will say the animation, I thought it was a better upgrade than the Paramount Plus Transformers Earthspark, because that animation was
Earthspark
terrible on
sucks.
that show.
That show needs to be just forgotten about. Earthspark's
Mhm.
animation, I could not get through an episode.
Yeah, so like it was a better upgrade. We know that Industrial Light and Magic is doing the
Yep.
animation for this,
And that's why it's
which
so on
wow,
point.
yeah.
Like, what is the bill that they sent to Industrial Light Magic
Oh,
to do that? To do
I'm
that.
sure it was. I'm sure
What
it
I'm
was a hefty
excited,
one.
what I'm excited about, and I will buy, to be completely honest with you, is the toys coming out for
Oh
the
yeah.
movie. I'm really hoping that they take it seriously, and I'm hoping that they do high quality toys and not just this like push it out there like bullshit like Easter basket toy stuff.
Well, I think they're gonna have the obviously one for younger fans, and then they're gonna have probably the studio series or something up there for the collectors. And if they
Yeah.
do that, they're making double the money anyways. But
I'm just
it's
hoping
gonna
the
get
studio comes
younger
out.
fans. It's gonna get younger fans that who aren't hooked on to the Transformers, and TMNT does as well. Every couple of
Oh,
years, they
every time.
invent themselves, and they get another generation of fans that are starting out. Transformers is a smart thing because you're going to get a young version of fans that can grow with the Transformer franchise, and then they'll want to explore all the other animation and the older animation. So,
Absolutely.
extremely smart idea. I give Hasbro credit for whoever thought of this idea and put it through. It's going to make toys. It's going to get people screens. There's probably going to be some crazy popcorn buckets that's going to pop up out of this too. So
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. But Chris Helms working at voice cast did a fantastic job.
Optimus Prime bucket.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be something else, but it'll be interesting. Maybe an Energon cube or something.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Well, I got to wrap. I got stuff I got to do. Meeks, we appreciate you every week,
Yes,
man. We really do. So thank you for stopping by. I know that you're typically working with kids or whatever, but we appreciate even like a 2-minute conversation with you. So any topics you have, let us know. We look forward to seeing everybody on Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, and then Saturday. But let's get to Friday first, and we'll worry about Saturday. All right. Well, it's been fun. It's been real. It hasn't been real fun. You can do whatever you want. Just we're not going to be around. We're not going to be live. And because of Meeks, now my sign off is always, if you know, you know. And we'll see you next time. That's it, right?
That's it.